Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Myself Professor Miral Donda, and in today's session we will learn about connection oriented and connectionless service. But before we start, let's revise our previous lecture. In our previous lecture we have learned about a network edge. So if any computer or any device in the networks are connected at the end of the network, or we can say that at the end of the edge. So in the network edge we have learned two different components, which is end system or the host and router. So the first is a network host or the end system. So the network host and the end system is a computer or the device that connected to the network. So any devices which is connected to the network, it is called the host. And the second term is a router. So the router is the device that forwards the data packet over the network. So that is all about end system and the router. So let's start our today's session. So in the today's session we will learn connection oriented and connectionless service. So let's start with the connection oriented. It is one kind of service. In connection oriented, direct path is established between source and the destination. So what actually a connection oriented system is? We can compare a connection oriented service with the telephone system. If you want to talk to someone, you have to pick up the phone, or you have to dial the number, or you have to talk and hang up. So these are the steps that we have to follow if we want to talk to someone. So similarly, to use a connection oriented network service, users have to establish the connection. So what is the meaning of establish the connection? So let's understand it with one image. So as shown in the figure, connection is established between the sender and the receiver. So the first sender requests for the communication. For example, here sender asked to receiver that are you there? Now on the receiver side, he got the request from sender. So if receiver agrees for that, then he provides the acknowledgement to the sender. For example, here receiver says I am here. Now on sender side, sender assured that receiver is ready to talk. So he also sent an acknowledgement that he is also ready for the communication. So after this whole process, sender and receiver both assured that they are ready to talk. So now they start exchanging the information. So this whole process creates the connection, or this whole process establishes the connection. So this whole process is also called the TCP three-way handshake. So that we'll learn in our later session. But so these are the steps by which we can establish the connection. So now we summarize the whole process as in connection oriented service, one side makes a proposal and other side can accept it or reject it or make a counter proposal. Finally, after both stop exchanging the information, it means so now sender and receiver both stop exchanging the information, then the last step is release the connection. So we will compare this situation with our Facebook, that if I want to talk to someone, or if I want to talk to my friend on Facebook, then the first I request him, then if he agreed, then he accept my request, and I got an acknowledgement that your friend accept the request. So now I drop message that I am ready for the conversation, and then we start chatting. After some time of chat, we stop our chatting. So now we release or we remove each others from Facebook. So this whole process is called the connection oriented service, in which we establish the connection, use the connection, and then release the connection. So that is all about connection oriented service. Next is connectionless service. So we can compare this service with our postal system. So if I want to post 3 letters to my cousin, then I put all 3 letters into a different covers and write the full address where my cousin lived and post it by the post office. Now letter carries the full destination address. So if my cousin lives in Baroda, so each letter is routed through a different intermediate city. Like first I post So first I post the letter from Bhavnagar. So from Bhavnagar, the letter is traveled to Ahmedabad, and from Ahmedabad it traveled Anand, and from Anand it finally reaches to the Baroda. Now all my 3 letters is in a Baroda, and by different postmen it reaches to the given destination address. In same way, in the connectionless service, we just pass the data with the address of destination computer in the network. So it has a high probability of arrival but no guarantee. So in the connectionless service is a method of data transmission between 2 computers in the different networks. Connectionless service is also a term as a datagram service. This service looks like the postal system where each letter carries its source and destination address, and each of them is routed through a different path. So this is one figure example in which we just pass the data. We are not ensuring that connection is established or receiver signed the acknowledgement or not only. Okay, we just pass the data with the address. So in that situation, we are not sure that our message reaches to the destination or not. So this service is called the connectionless service. So that is all about connection oriented service and connectionless service. So that is it for the today's session. So let's revise all 2 terms. In the connection oriented service, there is one sender and receiver, but if sender wants to send the data, then sender first create or first establish the connection with the receiver. After the connection establishment, they passes the information, and at the end of the exchanging the information, they release the connection or they remove the connection. Yes, but in the connectionless service, there is no step of connection establishment. Sender directly send the data to the destination with the destination address. So it has a high probability of arrival but no guarantees that our message reaches to the destination or not. So this is all about connectionless and connection oriented service. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.